Hey everyone, I'm Brody, owner of Raised Rub, and I get tons of questions about this product right here. So today I wanted to take some time and do a little FAQ and answer some of your questions about this product. So what are the main uses of Raised Rub? Well, I always say chicken first because the product was invented originally for chicken, but pork, steak, vegetables, fish, we use it on jerky, we use it in dips and sauces. So it's a very versatile product and there's a lot of different ways to use it. Can I use Raised Rub as a marinade, seasoning, and dry rub? The answer is yes. Raised Rub is an all-purpose seasoning. The name is Raised Rub. It was originally for chicken as a dry rub, but over time, we realized that this product was so good on so many different things that we didn't want to just single it out and say this is only a dry rub, because it really does work as a marinade. It works as a chicken, steak, vegetable seasoning where you're just sprinkling the seasoning on top and you're not actually dry rubbing any of the food that you're preparing. So the answer is yes. Marinade, seasoning, dry rub, it works in all scenarios. So what are some unique ways to use Raised Rub? I always tell people dips, sauces. You can infuse olive oil with Raised Rub. There's a lot of creative ways to do that. Corn on the cob. Have you ever had that garlic, butter, corn on the cob style? You can do that with Raised Rub as well. So mix a little butter, sprinkle some Raised Rub on the corn on the cob, and it's a great way to use it as well. Buttered noodles with Raised Rub on top. Rice, I really blend everything that I eat with Raised Rub, so there's 1,000,001 ways to use it. If you have any more questions about that, just send me an email, but don't be afraid to try it on anything and everything. What are my favorite recipes? I think because I'm usually in a hurry when I cook, I'm on the go all the time, I tell people chicken thighs. Chicken thighs stay so tender and moist, and this is the perfect seasoning for chicken. So that's probably my favorite. A baked pork loin or smoked pork loin is a great way to use Raised Rub as well. Fish, steak, I like it all, but I would say the most common for me is chicken thighs. How much Raised Rub do I use? Well, that's tricky because it depends on what you're doing with it. I think if you're gonna put it in a marinade or something like that, you're gonna wanna use at least a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/2 cup. Occasionally I'll mix breadcrumbs with Raised Rub for a breading for chicken or venison tenderloin. And when I do that, I do about a 1-to-1 ratio. So, a cup of breadcrumbs, a cup of Raised Rub. If you're just sprinkling it on top of chicken thighs or steak, I always tell people you want to cover the whole piece of meat up. You really don't want to be able to see a lot of the meat. Get a nice coat of Raised Rub for full flavor. How long does Raised Rub last? Well, a long time. If it's low humidity and it's room temperature, this seasoning is good for up to 4 years. I think that I don't really want to tell people that because I don't want it to sit there that long. I want you guys using it, but it will last up to 4 years. So I've had a lot of people say, hey, I still have the old label and the old bottle and the product still tastes great. I mean, that is the truth. You're gonna be able to use this thing for a long time. So 4+ years in the right temperature. Don't put it in the fridge though. Low humidity, you don't want to refrigerate seasonings ever, so don't do that. What are some of the main ingredients of Raised Rub? So there's some garlic, there's some onion, rosemary, thyme, paprika. I can't tell you too many more because then you'll have the recipe, but we've got a lot of different herbs and spices in here, 21 herbs and spices, and they're all from the USA. So this product is made right here in the USA. Is Raised Rub a healthy choice? Absolutely. Raised Rub is gluten-free, non-GMO. There's no sugar, there's no added sweeteners, 0 calories. So if you're looking for a health product, this is it right here. And it has so much complex flavor that it works well on just about anything. I always say if you're into fitness, this is your product right here. Why is Raised Rub better than other seasonings? Well, I'm a little biased because it's my family's recipe. My father invented it. But I do believe that unlike other seasonings, Raised Rub works really well on a very broad spectrum of food. So from the chicken to the steak, on the noodles, on the eggs, vegetables, you can't really say that with everything else. I think sometimes you might grab a chicken seasoning and it's got a little sugar in it. It might be too sweet. Raised Rub works well on chicken, great flavor. With the steak, you may not want to put that chicken seasoning on steak but Ray's Rub works on both. So it's just a lot of flavor, 21 herbs and spices, and it works well on all those different things. The other thing is, when there's so much flavor in one product, all the 21 herbs and spices, it makes it really easy to cook. It's very quick. I got everything I need in one bottle. So, you know, I'll grab the chicken, I'll grab the Ray's Rub and season it up, and you're done. You don't have to go through the seasoning cabinet and pick out a bunch of different spices and herbs and spices to season up your meat or vegetables. Where can I find Ray's Rub? Well, right now, if you jump on raysrub.com, you can order Ray's Rub. We're also available on amazon.com. And then locally in West Virginia, we're in a few stores in Morgantown and a few stores in Charleston and a few far in between, one in Summersville and another one in Augusta. So just jump on the website. All that information is on the website. You'll be able to locate it locally. I would say the best way to get it is from me directly at raysrub.com. I have different pricing and things for different packages. So, you know, I sell 1 bottle, 3 bottles, and there's discounts all through the different amounts of bottles that you purchase. Do I do wholesale pricing? Yes, I have wholesale pricing. Email me directly, brody@raysrub.com. On the website, some of the larger sizes have some of the wholesale pricing incorporated into it, but if you're a retailer and you'd like to carry Ray's Rub, I'm happy to further that discount. So how often do I cook with Ray's Rub? Pretty much every time I cook. I love the stuff, but do I ever add any other seasoning to it? The answer is yes, but usually what I do is I'll have Ray's Rub, and if I want it a little more spicy, I'll add some cayenne pepper on top. So I'll blend Ray's Rub and cayenne pepper. Occasionally when I do a pork loin, I'll cover the pork loin first with brown sugar. I'm okay with a little sugar once in a while. But I'll cover it with brown sugar and then I'll coat it with Ray's Rub as well. So for a little more sweetness, I add a little sugar. For a little more spice, a little cayenne pepper or other types of pepper seasoning, maybe jalapeno seasoning. So that's kind of what I do. But yes, most of the time I'm using Ray's Rub on just about every meal. So what are my future plans with Ray's Rub? Well, right now I'm really heavy focusing on the online business and some of the local market. So if you're interested in carrying Ray's Rub, reach out to me. I'd love to get it in more stores locally, but the online business is where a lot of my emphasis has been lately. Am I gonna launch new products? The answer is yes. Those are coming down the road. I've got some plans for those in place, but I haven't really taken the steps to launch those yet. I wanna wait a little bit and get the original recipe out there to everybody. I always say, people ask how Ray's Rub is doing and what's going on with the business, and I say, well, just about every day someone new has tried Ray's Rub, and that means the most to me. The people that are trying it are getting my dad's seasoning in their hands and new customers every day, and that's what I really love to hear. What are some of the best memories you have using Ray's Rub? Well, first and foremost, cooking over the open flame, the rotisserie with my father. Those were always great times, my father and brother. I used to go fishing with friends from high school, and I have some very distinct memories of not taking any other food. So we would go catch trout out of the stream and camp, and we would cook the trout with lemon pepper, butter, and Ray's Rub. We didn't take any food with us. We just cooked the fish, and we brought some Ray's Rub with us. So make sure when you're out camping, this is a seasoning you take with you. So we got a couple funny questions here, but is there a direct correlation between using Ray's Rub and making gains? Well, I would say if you eat Ray's Rub on enough protein, then yeah, you'll probably make some gains with it. There's no protein in Ray's Rub, but eat it on that chicken, that steak, that fish, you'll probably make those gains. Craziest thing you ever made with Ray's Rub? Well, I got one memory in my head. My good friend, John Paul, shouting out to you, buddy. Back in high school, we used to do something called a Ray's Rub sandwich. No meat on it. We were in a hurry. We just joked around, but we threw a piece of cheese on 2 slices of bread and sprinkled some Ray's Rub on the top, and we called it a Ray's Rub sandwich. So that was probably the craziest thing we've ever done with Ray's Rub. Guys, thank you so much for watching the FAQ video. If you have any more questions, send messages on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or directly to me at brody@raysrub.com. I'm really proud of this product. It means a lot to me and my family. I do believe it's one of the best seasonings out there. So if you're interested in trying it, reach out. I'll send samples. I've got a lot of sample packs I love to give out. for any new people interested, just reach out and I'll take care of you. Thank you.